Hi everybody, this is Noelle with Petitti Garden Centers, and it's February 2024 and our stores are filling up with color for the winter and of course Valentine's Day and all of those good things. So we wanted to take you on a store tour, show you what's happening in houseplants for sure, and you know, maybe we'll get some ideas, a little bird feeding, maybe a little seed starting, all those good things. So to start out with, and you can see Taylor's going to pan through lots of heart themed items. I love this Alocasia. It's a succulent, but you can tell that it is in a heart-shaped topiary. Really, really pretty. Kind of easier to grow for those of us that don't water. And so if your Valentine doesn't water, nice choice there. Or the little Hoya hearts. Those are always really cute. Obviously, little mini pot for them. They will eventually, like Hoya, again, trailing succulent, they'll start to produce those little mini hearts and they'll kind of trail over the side. So that's a really fun little Valentine's Day gift as well. You can see all the Phalaenopsis orchids. A lot of them are kind of that petite or mini Phalaenopsis here, but again, bent into a heart shape, really pretty, lots of beautiful colors, and the large Phalaenopsis as well behind there. Remember, Phalaenopsis love this time of year. This is their natural bloom time. They really like bright, indirect lighting. You don't want to expose them to sun. Northern exposure is really, really good for them. And also a key here to kind of get them reblooming for you is you want to have kind of like a 10-degree difference between your daytime temperature in the home and nighttime temperature in the home. So for those of you that program your thermostats and let it drop down at night, that's actually a really great thing for Phalaenopsis. So do try that. If you haven't seen it rebloom in a while, go ahead and try that temperature change and you'll see a big difference there, okay? The Kalanchoe or Kalanchos, the Calendivas are the doubles, of course. Look at that red, that is gorgeous. And then the singles are your typical Kalanchoe. Again, more of a flowering succulent here. They can take some moisture, but they do fine on the drier side of watering. So again, if you don't water a lot, that's where these succulents come in handy because they really do work very, very well on the drier side as well. Okay, now we haven't seen this in a while. We haven't had a lot of jasmine, and this is actually a pink jasmine. This one's just starting to bloom here. Very, very fragrant. Obviously, the jasmine family is in. This one has very, very fine foliage. The jasmine being a tropical flowering plant, you're gonna want to expose it to more sun, and we do want direct sun with this one. So look at your eastern exposure, your western exposure windows, your southern exposure windows. Try to get some direct sunlight on this one. They'll really, really appreciate it. Even moisture, slightly dry is really good. Always with your houseplants, especially your orchids, jasmine, we've got begonias on the back. Try to keep that humidity up around them during the winter months, okay? Really important. If you spray mist, fine. If you want to put a humidifier on the plants, fine, no problem. If you want to do a drip tray underneath, fill that drip tray with pebbles and then some water. Let that water evaporate naturally around those plants, no problem whatsoever. Because most of these plants are coming out of the tropics and they really, really do appreciate the humidity. Don't need a lot of water. You don't want to overwater in the winter, and they don't need any fertilizer at this time of year, but they like that humidity, okay? Let's come around the table a little bit. The Riger begonias are in full bloom right now. Lots of beautiful colors. Again, Riger or Riger, it's okay, tomato, tomato. But I will tell you that the Riger begonias are your most shade tolerant, so they make an excellent flowering houseplant, but they can also go outside in the garden in a shady condition. So they do wonderfully. You keep on pinching begonias. I always tell folks, begonias like a little care here and there. So if you continue to remove the flower, the spent flower buds, and if you have some leaves that aren't looking so great, remove the leaves and they'll continue to really produce and grow for you. So begonias are always a really, really good one to give someone for an indoor house plant as well. Antheriums are really hot And there's lots of different types of anthuriums, and we actually have a spotlight on anthuriums as well. But anthuriums at this time of year, I think, again, that heart-shaped spath type flower or petal here, and that there's so many different colors. This is a really pretty sort of orangey red. There's pinks. There's bright reds underneath here that you see. Anthurium, the flowers last months, okay, so that you have a lot of color on this plant. It is a low care plant. You want to put them in bright indirect light. They can take medium indirect as well, to keep the flowering a little bit brighter, of course. And then a quarter cup of water a week. I mean, easy peasy, okay? And that's like a 4 to 5 inch pot. So quarter cup of water once a week. Dump it out if there's any excess, and then go ahead and rewater weekly, okay? Very, very fun plant to grow. Newer dracaenas as well. We're starting to see that, like the variegated corn plant. This is a really great plant for indoors air purification. And I'm gonna say bigger, thicker leaf plants usually are better for that air purifying aspect. But look at that variegation. This is a beautiful, beautiful corn plant. And so you're gonna see some of these beautiful variegated varieties come through, you know, in the stores. Look at the bromeliads as well. At this time of year, your bromeliads are a beautiful tropical plant. These types of bromeliads are what we call epiphytes. They're air plants. So when they grow in the tropics, they're up in the canopy of the rainforest, and their leaves collect water right in the center. So what you do when you take care of this plant is you water right in the center of their leaves, and then you leave that in there for the week. If they use it or not, if it evaporates, fine, that's good. And then you go ahead and just dump the water out that you applied. And again, once a week, just fill up the center of their leaves and they're ready to go too. Again, long lasting color with these plants, usually 9 to 12 months on bromeliads. Bright indirect lighting, they do not need sun, and so many different colors. Beautiful, beautiful plants, very easy care, very nice. These are non-toxic, okay, for your pets and your people around. So again, bromeliads, great choice for a gift plant, okay? Let's come around the corner a little bit, and oh, look at these. Those are the flame bromeliads, gorgeous. Some oranges and some yellows there as well. Look at this philodendron. So this is Painted Lady. Lots of color here. Look at the pink stems underneath, okay? And then you'll see it on the underside of the leaf, the vein there. And then look at that mottled green and yellow. Gonna see a lot of kind of the lighter greens. Cyber lime is kind of a big trend right now with foliage. I think it's always looked great in houseplants. I always like the different colors in houseplants, but this is Painted Lady, and Painted Lady is a really, really pretty one. You're gonna see a lot more color, a lot more variegation in the foliage here. Philodendron. Easy, right? Easy plant to grow. Typically your medium indirect lighting, okay? Just to hold on to that nice color and modeling in the foliage. If it goes a little bit more green, you know that it'll survive, but probably in too low of a light level. So you want to move it up a little bit more, or put a little spotlight on it, little grow light on it, and really enjoy this plant. And this one is kind of bushy, but it also grows up. So it's a good candidate for like a totem pole, okay, a coconut fiber pole or post in there, and then you can go ahead and let Painted Lady grow. Air plants are always going to be great at this time of year. Beautiful varieties. You can see the pinks, greens, curlies, grays. Those plants are Tillandsia, and they are in the same family as the bromeliads. So very, very easy. These guys just need some spray misting, okay? Really, a couple times a week would be really, really nice. But I will also tell you that they're non-toxic as well. And you can place them just about anywhere you'd like to have a little bit of, you know, living color in the house or in the office. So you can place them on a shelf, on a desk. You can throw them in a pot. You can even, you know, take a little hot glue and you can actually hot glue them onto a picture frame if you want to, or what have you. So lots of things that you can do with your air plants or tillandsia. Okay, now Taylor wanted me to show you this Croton. Look at this is Picasso paintbrush. And look at that texture. Isn't that the coolest thing? Most of your Crotons are real thick-leaved, typically. Thick-leaved, okay? But the coloration on this is, again, yellow, reds, oranges. There's some coral in here. Really, really beautiful. It's really the texture that I love. And with Crotons, you grow them indoors in bright indirect light, and then you can take them outside, put them in container gardens. They make excellent centerpieces, especially for that part shade to full sun area. This one might have a little bit of a difficulty in full sun because the leaves are so thin. So I imagine it would probably dry out, get a little crispy quicker. But your thick leaf varieties for full sun, they work really, really well. So Picasso paintbrush, remember this one. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to flip side here, and lots of folks ask us about, you know, pet safe plants and those types of things, and that's great. Peperomia. The Peperomia family is really, really nice, very good for pets and small people. Okay, great desk plants. Awesome, okay, in the office, no problem whatsoever, or any place that you're spending a lot of time, computer or, you know, what have you. So try Peperomia, lots of different varieties with this family. You've got green leaf, okay, variegated, obviously. Look at small, tiny leaf. I'm gonna pick this one up. You have more trailing varieties. Let me grab this one. Right? So again, just easy plant. Because they are semi-succulent, they don't need as much light as some of the succulents do. They can really grow in kind of a medium indirect light, but because their leaves are so waxy and succulent, they don't need a lot of watering. So they do very, very well. Keep them on the drier side of watering and then thoroughly water when you need to, when they're really, really dry. And then they'll just keep on going for you. So easy plant, really, really nice to have. Okay, let me move through here because Taylor knows I'm excited about this. Rex begonias are gonna be a big thing this year. And I think the begonia family is really gonna have a little comeback here. But there is a new series of begonias and obviously beautiful decorative leaf begonias like these, which are typically called Rex. And the Rex begonias, this series is the Jurassic series of Rex begonias. And so there's lots of beautiful colors, variegations. And the other thing about this is these guys are stuck in a little 4-inch pot, but once you plant them up into larger sizes, they will get bigger, okay? So do look for your Rex begonias. These guys really like that medium indirect lighting to bright indirect lighting. They really don't need direct sunlight on them. They make an excellent houseplant. I'll tell you, I think Rex begonias do way better kept on the drier side of watering. Again, I'll say that about anything, to be honest. But they really do nicely. If you keep them a little bit drier and you see them just slightly wilt, that's the time that you need to thoroughly water them again. But beautiful, beautiful varieties here. And I'm gonna show you a couple more up above. And this is a rock begonia. Look at the texture on this, okay? It is a little bit spiky, a little puckered. It is really, really cool. And you're gonna see more of these like textural plants out there on the market as well. And I love that. I could feel this all day. I don't think Taylor could feel it all day. She doesn't really like it, but but it's really, really a cool plant. So you're gonna see lots and lots of begonias, folks, no problem. The other thing that I have over here on this table, look at this. This is an earth star, okay? This one is called Absolute Zero. Look at the variegation on it. Now, this is, you're going to say, it kind of looks like a bromeliad. It is in the family, it's the same family, okay, as the Airplants, the bromeliads. This is a terrestrial, we're going to call it a terrestrial bromeliad, okay? So these are the ones that actually do grow in the ground, a little bit more, still from a tropical environment, but a little bit drier, okay? Not quite as succulent, not quite like a yucca or an agave or anything like that, but really cool. And there's some beautiful colorations here. And there's this trend right now where it's kind of like science fiction, sort of alien-like plants are cool. There you go. There's one of them. I'm going to show you one more. Oh, she's back here. Look at the coloring on this one. Okay, beautiful. I think this is Elaine. I was right. So Elaine's got this beautiful pink and yellow stripe. And again, the variegation right through the middle, but really, really gorgeous. Now again, a little bit drier side. These are a little bit wet, but like the bromeliad before, you could water in the center, and then you're gonna wanna make sure that you empty that water out once a week, maybe even a little bit less, and they'll be fine. Okay, so that's a great one. Earth stars or cryptanthus, really, really nice. Okay, let's walk around this way. Oh, gotta stop right here. There's this beautiful split-leaf philodendron here, and if you've never seen these before, they were super, 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 super popular, especially around COVID. Actually, people were looking for these. This variegated split-leaf philodendron is called Thai Constellation, and they really are sought after still. Beautiful variegation, mottled variegation on the foliage. Like most of your philodendrons, very, very easy to grow. Medium and direct lighting to kind of keep your variegation, but we have them. We really had a problem trying to get our hands on some of the Thai constellations, and now we have them. So they are available. I have to show you more begonias, okay? You're gonna say, what is going on with the begonia family? But there are a lot to be seen out there. So this is Begonia maculatum, upright begonia, sometimes called angel wing begonia, because you can see the cut, that shape of the leaf there. When you put these two together, it makes more sense, okay? This is a dark leaf variety. This is called Black Forest. This is new from Proven Winners, their Leaf Joy program, but really, really beautiful, that dark kind of bronzy color, the nice white spots there. Now look at this one. Okay, so this one's another variety of Begonia maculatum, and look at all of the spots. So this is real similar to what they call double dot. It kind of has double the amount of the white spots on it, but look at that. And like I said, begonias are easy. You just want to keep them on the slightly drier side. They really don't need a lot of water. And when you overwater begonias, you really will incur rot in their root system. So don't do that. Try to stay on the drier side for them. Continue to kind of pick as you need to, or prune or trim, you know, when you see some dry areas or what have you, and they'll do phenomenal for you. Again, that medium indirect lighting, bright indirect lighting is best. You could probably expose them to a little bit of direct sunlight, but that's what you're looking for, okay? Now, flip side, and not even close in family, okay, is your Alocasia. So these Alocasias, and we've talked about these before, so your elephant ears, these are more your houseplant size, if you will. You can grow them outside in the summer, put them in containers, you can put them in the ground as well, not a problem, but they really are being grown for more of that houseplant aspect. And that's great. We have lots of videos on Alocasia, using them inside the home, and they're a really good plant for that medium indirect light area. They can grow in brighter indirect lighting as well, okay? Now, if you're a waterer, this is a good plant to have because they like to stay evenly moist, and that's great, okay? But there's so many beautiful new colors and varieties. Now, This is Leaf Joy's plant of the year, I believe, from Proven Winners. And this is Dragonite. And I'm going to show you the side view. This leaf is really, really super thick. Texture is absolutely, it's really cool. But again, I was mentioning alien-like or sci-fi-like foliage. This is a strange one, I will tell you. Again, Taylor, not a fan of the texture. She likes the plant, but just not the texture of it. But this one's called Dragonite, okay? Beautiful sort of that silvery, bronzy, purpley green. It's really, really interesting. This one I just saw today, Bisma Silver. Beautiful arrowhead type leaf arrangement on it. A little bit of a brighter green comparatively, but just unusual. There's lots of new varieties with these Alocasia plants or elephant ears, and you really need to check them out because they're fairly easy houseplant to grow, especially if you like to water, okay? So if you have somebody that likes to water, maybe Alocasia is the plant for them, okay? Now, down below, lots of philodendron. Again, I mentioned that limey, cyber lime color is really, really hot and new. And this one's just the lime Filodendron Cordata. So it's got the heart-shaped leaf, okay? Lots of your trailing philodendron look like that. Mike Hands looks like that, but Mike Hands has that kind of bronzy look to it, okay? Sort of velvety here, and then this is lime. Okay, so same leaf shape, same leaf structure, just different colors. Again, very easy. It's a philodendron, no problem whatsoever. Now, I love Brazil, so that's one of my faves, and I love that variegation, that limey variegation right in the middle. Beautiful, beautiful plant. So again, if you're looking for something easy, something to trail down, you know, a shelving unit, something to just put on the desk, gorgeous plants, very, very easy, medium and direct light. Typically, if they're variegated, you can go lower light levels if they're just solid green, okay? So keep that one in mind too. I think this one is really stunning. This is a Defin bakia, and this is a new variety. It's called Reflector, and it almost has that like black velvety look to it. Bright green spots on it, really, really beautiful. Your Defin bakia are always going to be more upright growers, so it's nice to have, as they grow up, they make really nice floor plants. They can give you a little bit more height in a container. If you want to do a mixed container garden, again, medium indirect lighting because you want to keep that variegation. Don't get me wrong, you could put it in a low light condition. You just lose some of your coloring. So, you know, you want to introduce it to some more light if you want to keep your coloration on the foliage, okay? Beautiful. Ooh. We were looking at this, Taylor found this yesterday. Look at that white variegation. This is Epipremnum, is your pothos family, okay? And this is a narrow leaf type plant. So these guys are relatives to your philodendron. And easy care, no problem. Look at climbing upright, no problem. So you could train them to climb upright on a teepee if you want to, or on a totem if you want to, or you could let them trail down, no problem. But look at that white variegation. This is pretty new for us, okay? So that's your variegated. Some of these new philodendron are phenomenal. So I'm going to show you one. And this is the first time I've ever seen it. This is Chocolate Empress, okay? And I want to show you like mature leaf. Here's one. A little bit immature. And when they're immature, they have that real long, elongated oval type leaf. But when they start to grow up, look at the edges of that leaf. They're so beautiful. And you can tell Chocolate Empress starts green, you know, a dark green, but then starts to bring on some of that chocolatey bronze color. So really, really beautiful plant. In this same species, I'm going to show you Ring of Fire. And this again, like I said, you're going to see a lot of variegated plant material that has that limey, you know, green color or chartreuse color to it. This one is Ring of Fire. You can tell immature leaf, same, has that elongated oval, if you will. Look at that, this leaf is starting to mature and it's starting to get those really undulating edges on it. Really, really beautiful plant. I'm so excited. These are really two new ones, but they're really, really beautiful. And then, again, for those of you that are looking for like a non-toxic houseplant, there is something called, and I'll show you the standard. This is nerve plant or Fonia. And you see this very often. It has the white netted veins inside, and it has like a little bit of a fuzzy, rough texture to it. Cool plant, very small, compact, again, really nice for a side table, a desk, what have you, right? So non-toxic for people and pets. And then there's these new varieties. Look at this. Look at the coloration on this. It is limey green, and then it has those bright kind of pinky red veins to it. This one's a new proven winners. This one's primetime news. I think they all revolve around like news. So primetime, this white is world views. Look at that. Look at the contrast. And nightly news. Look at those. Really, really beautiful. Lots of fun color, I will have to say. Gorgeous plants. Okay. So I think that's probably, good enough for houseplants today. But we also have, don't forget, February is birdie month with us. So come out, still feed your birds. Make sure that you have plenty for your bird feeders, and give them some suet at this time of year is always really good. It's a little bit mild right now out there, but we're sure to have more snow events coming. I don't know, we'll have to see what the groundhog says. And also seed starting. Don't forget that if you want to grow some specialty items, some perennials, some annuals, some vegetables, some herbs, start thinking about seed starting too. We have the soils, the seed trays, the seeds, whatever you need there too. So please come and join us. The stores are starting to fill up with beautiful houseplants and color, and enjoy.